There are some really simple ingredients that I want you to be clear on when it comes to building a winning team for an interview, shortlist presentation, project pitch, the ones that you do to win the work. This has been an interesting year for me in that I have predicted with my assistant every interview that was going to win. It doesn't mean that the ones that weren't going to win were obvious. The teams that lost were very, very good. It's just that there's this feeling that I get at this point in my career, that's this instinctual, wow, we got this one. And I've been asking myself, what is that gives me the feeling? I'm batting 1,000 on this, being able to go back and say this team is going to take the project. And of course, there's a lot of pre-positioning stuff that goes into the win. Where you stand isn't always the same, but I have walked out of two recent underdog scenarios saying, no, we're going to take it. We have it. And we have. And there's simple ingredients that I'm going to list off here as casting right, as strategizing right, as rehearsing right, as managing your outsider advice or mock selection committee input right, and how to back down from the rehearsal to the point that you save your performance. Let me step through those. The first is casting right, and it's a twofer. There's casting, just like if you were casting a television show, you get the right lead and you get the right supporting cast and it sings, and then you replace somebody and suddenly, the next edition of the show, when you lost your main actor and you put someone else in, it doesn't work. Only certain people seem to be able to hold that front person spot, like that, command the stage. It can be a shy engineer. It doesn't matter what kind of person it is, but some people are capable of stepping up and seizing that host role. And it's really important to make sure that the person leading your interview, as the face of the interview, has that ingredient. The supporting cast really wants to be diverse in some way. Now, there's diversity in the classic sense that you see, people of different cultures and races. There's the diversity of gender. Hopefully we see men and women. There's also the diversity of personality, and there's the diversity of position. Somehow or another, you need to see a front-facing lead supported by a variety of people that play well together, but as strong, diverse supporting cast, which then brings you to how you strategize. The first rule is have a strategy. A lot of people don't have a strategy at all. So you've got to come up with your strategy of how you're approaching the presentation, the Q&A, that event. And secondly, you have to stick to it. Every team that won this year for me so far has stuck to their strategy. They often bring in new people and they have to defend that strategy. Do it, defend it, stick to it, ride it through to the end. The next thing is mock selection committee support, your outside advisors that come in and react to your presentation and Q&A. You need to have a mock selection committee that builds your confidence, even though they're going to give you feedback. Feedback is fine, but on all the teams that won, the mock selection committee had pride. They took pride in the people. They loved the group. They gave them feedback. They told them things they were doing right and wrong, but you could feel the beaming pride. Bring in a selection committee mock-up that's going to bolster confidence, not tear it down. Next ingredient was integrating the practices of presenting with the practices of Q&A. You want to pull them both along together so that we're getting ready for both aspects. You don't know which is the make or break point. Is it the information you present, or is it the conversation that follows? It can be either, so you want to be pushing those along at the same time. And lastly, you want to rehearse enough that you get close to that break point where I just have this down. I don't need to rehearse this anymore. And then you want to back down from rehearsing presence to just making sure I have all the information and the sequence right. It's getting clear on how all the moving parts work together. So if you do those things, all the winning teams of this year have had those ingredients. They cast right with a lead and with a diverse supporting cast. They have a strategy and they maintain it at all costs right to the end. And that's what they bring into the actual event. They They have mock selection support that builds belief. They integrate their Q&A with the presentation practice, and they rehearse to that break point, and then they back down to just making sure they remember the sequences. Do those things, and you're going to increase the likelihood that your team has a real shot at winning, because it takes a commitment to get to the point that you're so prepared that you can walk in and just blow them away and create that interview, presentation, and Q&A experience that's going to carry the day.